filmfestivalcircuit.com and the director of the Oregon Screams Horror Film Festival. We just had the Oregon Screams Horror Film Festival Summer 2022 event at the Clinton Street Theater in Portland. It was a lot of fun. And then one of the films that was selected for that particular film festival was Ostinato, which is directed by Julie Fergus. And we're joined by Julie now. Hey, Julie.
Hi, how are you?
Excellent. Good to see you again. And we also, it's good to have to see you in two different festivals. The Texas Short Film Festival, April 2022, you won the Best Horror Film Award. So congrats on that as well.
And we got to meet in person. That was great.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was awesome. You know, we weren't doing the interviews back then. At first, I started this thing out as just going live on Instagram with a few people, and then the demand grew, and here we are streaming all over the place. So
awesome.
Thanks for making the time to do this.
No, thank you for having me.
All right, before I ruin everything and tell everyone what the synopsis of your film is, I'd like you to put that in your own words if possible.
Yeah. Well, it's about a woman. The log line, if you will, is a woman takes refuge in a strange house only to find it inhabited by her worst fears. So I don't want to give too much away because it's a thriller and it has some twists. But it's basically this woman's on the run from something, you don't know what. She finds this old creepy house to take solace in, and things start happening out of her control, and literally things and figuratively things begin to haunt her from her life.
Creepy.
So yeah, the house itself is sort of a character and what goes on in there, but there's some twists. So yeah.
Love it when the inanimate objects become the characters in the story as well.
Yeah.
Pretty cool twist to it. How did you what was the motivation for doing this one? Talk about the mindset, the time that you chose to do this. And I know a little bit of the backstory, but for people who don't, talk to us about why did you put your energy into this film?
Sure. Well, this came about because I was doing a play in New York. So at this house that it takes place in is a house that I have. It's 112 years old, and it's in Babylon, New York, and it looks sort of like the Amityville Horror House. So I think I have a feeling it was built by the same people. It was built within a couple of years, and Amityville, New York is like 5 minutes away. So anyway, I was there in New York. I was doing a play actually last fall called the Oresteia, the Greek play, the Oresteia, and I was staying at the house there. And an actress friend of mine, Sandra Saad, who is she's the voice of Ms. Marvel for Disney Plus and for all the video games, and she does Avengers, and we've done a lot of shows together, and we sing in a band together. So she came out to New York to see me in this play with this great theater company I work with a lot called Eastline. And I was playing Clytemnestra in that, which was really fun because I got to like murder people and stuff. So anyway, so Sandra came out to see me, and we always love working together and collaborating. And while she was there, like the storm started happening, and she was like, "Let's film something." And I was like, "Yes, let's film something." I've been making little short films and writing things for years and years. And so first we just started shooting some stuff with phones, but eventually I whipped out my Canon, and I had a short script previously written for something else that had done well in some festivals. But what I did was I took it and I adapted it, and it actually wound up changing quite a lot actually. And while I started working with Sandra and doing this, my daughter was there as well, my 7-year-old daughter. And she was like, Mommy, I want to be in it. So I was like, okay, how do I get her into this story? And then putting her in it led me to another thing that I wanted to have happen. And then I needed an older actress for this to happen. And I do know wonderful older actresses. But as I was writing it, my mother kept coming into my head, and My mother's not an actress, except for the way mothers are actresses every day. But I wanted her to do it, and I asked her to do it. She's never been on stage. She's never been on film. And she said yes. She didn't say yes at first. She was like hesitant, but she said, let me just see my part. And then she agreed to do it. And after the first take, my husband, who is also a filmmaker, he was helping out on the set, and he came around. He was like, oh my God, you're right. Your mother's amazing. So it worked out.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, it sounds like it worked out, and man, what a plug to, you said she was Captain Marvel in the Disney Plus series. Is that
she's Ms. Marvel, the character
Ms.
Marvel. Yeah, MS period Marvel, the teenager, I guess,
Yeah.
character. So she does she's the voice for all the video games and for the Disney Plus series. Mm-hmm. She's
amazing.
Awesome.
The connections.
Yeah, she's so talented. I mean, we've done lots of theater together, and we play in this band that goes around LA and stuff too.
What do you have planned for the future? Are you going to do any more with this concept?
Yeah, because several people have told me that I should turn it into a feature, because it's a kind of a really unique concept, I think. Mm-hmm. As I said, my husband's a filmmaker and a writer as well. And he was just like, when I wrote this, he's like, I've never seen this done before. So I've been trying to think of how to expand it. I've been working on that. And since I still have the location, and I have Sandra is completely down for it. She's like so excited. So it's just a question of me. I've thought about ways to open it up, maybe using the outside world, but then there's something really interesting and scary about just keeping it in the same one location. Like, can I do a feature version of it still in one location and still with just the same number of actors? Keep it really small, but make it longer. I don't know. Or is it just the perfect length, 15 minutes, the way it is with the story it tells? I don't know. I've been kind of outlining and brainstorming about that.
Well, they say that you've created something special when people want more, right? When they want to watch it twice or they want more. So go for it. Sorry, phone going out there, but go for it. I say, keep on creating, keep on doing your thing.
Thank you.
I think audiences respond very well to this, and at Oregon Screams they did. It was like this quiet, like, oh my God, what's going to happen next thing? And, did a great job at creating tension and creating something that you just didn't quite know how it was going to turn out. And when it's obvious, it's not as fun. And I think with yours, it was the opposite. It definitely was not obvious, and so
good. Thanks.
You get a good response. So well. Any other, I asked you kind of about the future of this film. Is horror a genre that you're going to be sticking with, or do you kind of diversify and have other ideas and other genres that you kind of like to pursue?
This is the first time I really attempted horror, and I've written other things. I've written biographical films, biopics, and I've written romantic comedy kinds of things. I've leaned more towards comedy in general, but I've loved doing this. I really have. And I just saw something, and I did come out of an experience sort of with this script, and I wound up writing another feature-length horror script that really is placed in several contests, and I was talking to a production company about. So actually I do have a different dark comedy horror feature script laying around that I also am like, can I make this myself, like micro budget? So that's a future thing. And now I just saw, like, yesterday on Twitter, a Twitter screenwriter is a judge in some horror screenplay contest. And there are all of these things that you have to do to write a screenplay in like 30 days, a horror screenplay by September 30th. And it has to hit these kinds of markers. And part of me is like, ooh, maybe I should just try that. I like, being challenged and having obstacles and deadlines and things like that. Yeah. So
that's interesting.
I want to do more horror stuff. Plus you can do it cheap a lot of times.
What's the name of that? Do you remember the name of that competition by any chance you were talking about? Just so I can link it. Sounds like a cool thing. I
don't, but the guy on Twitter is Spider Dabofsky or something. I could try and look him up. I think
Yeah, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I just
no,
it sounded like something to pass along to people.
yeah, it's I think take a photo of it on Twitter. I don't know. It's somewhere in here, but I can email it to you too. But it's his
Yeah.
name's Spider Dubofsky. I follow him. I think that's his name I follow him on Twitter. He's a screenwriter, so he'll have it on his thing. And it's
No
like
worries.
Spyder Spider. Mm-hmm.
Was there anything else you wanted to add before we get out of here?
No, I don't think so. I mean, just thank you so much. It's great. I wish I could have been in Portland. I love that city, and I look forward to maybe being at another one there with another project.
Okay.
And we loved doing the Texas Short Film Festival too. That was great. San Antonio is a great city.
Good stuff.
So yeah.
We loved having you. We loved having you. You bring your energy to the fest, and we appreciate it. And keep bringing us good work.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.